So, can you actually boost your immune system? That is a 30 billion, yes, I said billion, $30 billion question that year after year people keep finding a solution for it. Now, year after year, people keep getting sick. Like, it's obvious. I can tell you, I'm on the front lines. I'm taking care of the sick folks. But year after year, there's a $30 billion industry that says, hey, we can help boost this immune system. Now, I'm here to tell you, right, whether that is something that is possible, whether we are doing it the right way, because maybe it is, right? Because clearly, if there's $30 billion out there, man, I'm in like the wrong profession, y'all. Whatever, right? If there's 30 billion out there worth of spending for people to say, hey, I want to boost my immune system, clearly there's got to be some good results out there, right? So again, we are going to talk about and really hopefully answer this question. Can you actually boost your immune system? More importantly, are we doing it the correct way? If there is a correct way, what is that correct way and how we could do it, right? Again, I'm excited to have this conversation, right? I will have a link in my show notes for my Amazon store that has like supplements and vitamins that you should be able to take to help in this journey of this $30 billion industry journey of boosting your immune system. And I hope we get you right today. All right. So before we start, I want you to ask yourself this question, answer it in the comments. Have you ever bought a supplement, an immune booster, a vitamin for the hopes of getting better, staying healthier, avoiding some illness, right? Drop it in the comments. I want to see that participation. I know you're watching. I want to see that participation. Drop it in the comments. Let me know where you're at in this path. I've never bought a vitamin before. I never bought a supplement before. I bought some. I buy some every week. Like, let me know kind of where you're at. Because I think it's important to understand there's a real underlying question under this $30 billion industry. The underlying question, and really the underlying statement is, hey, I want to avoid getting sick. I can assure you, no one wants to come see me in the hospital. I don't feel bad. No one wants to see me in the rehab facilities, in the long-term care facilities. I don't feel bad. No one wants to see us, especially the men, but in general. No one wants to see us because, and let's walk in each other's footsteps for a little bit. Are you your best self when you're feeling down? Are you your best self when you're sluggish and got a cold or a headache? Or are you your best self? Right there, just no. So no one wants to put themselves in a position where they aren't their best selves. So I understand completely why an industry like the immune boosting industry is worth about $30 billion, right? Because that is a position no one wants to be in. The same way where us as healthcare providers, when we focus on preventative medicine, right, is because we're trying to prevent you to get to that stage of being sick and having to present yourself in a way of being sick. We know that's the case, right? Whether it's a cold, COVID, flu, like whatever the disease is, you guys want to avoid it. We want to help avoid it for you. And I think we probably add to this $30 billion industry as well too. I keep saying $30 billion because it's a lot of money. I was shocked when I found out the numbers. I was shocked, right? That's a lot of money though. I have patients who spend upwards of $100, hundreds of dollars a month on just vitamins and supplements. Not like prescribed medication that I would prescribe, but like vitamins and supplements, hundreds of dollars a month, right? So for a lot of people, this is a significant investment because again, right, they're trying to avoid, right? Remember, they're trying to avoid being in a state where they have to put themselves out there when they're not feeling the best, right? And for them, it's worth a couple $100 every single month, right? If not more. So I understand how this industry grows, right? So I understand why this industry is there because no one wants to be in a position where they are feeling ill and sick and they have to do something about it, right? Again, my wife gets on me all the time, right? It's my kids, like kids take on your personality. And I have my son who typically takes on his mother's personality, and my daughters take on my personality, right? Where they know, as you know, I'm a physician, right? So I'm a physician. I don't feel 100% all the time, but guess what? I have to show up for my patients. I got to show up for you guys on the social media platforms everywhere, right? So I show up even when I'm not necessarily 100%. My wife don't really understand that, right? Like for her, she's like, man, if I'm not 100%, man, I don't know if I can do this, right? Like you got to really push to get her when she's not 100% to do some things, right? My son the same way. He not feeling 100%. He ain't trying to go to school. He want to relax for the day. And I'm like, hey, I know you got a little stomach ache. I know I'm gonna give you some medication, but you got to go to school, right? You got to go to school. You got to be able to push through it. My daughters, they could be dragging, and to get them to say I don't want to go to school is so tough for them because they know, like, man, if I don't go to school, I gotta do all this work when I come back. I don't have to do it. Like they're already thinking about what happens if they miss. So they try to avoid the miss because they don't want the extra work that comes with it, right? They think smarter, not harder. I like to say, right? Because I know if I don't show up, guess what? Either someone's gonna have to show up for me, or I'm gonna have to show up at a later time and still do the work that I missed the first time, right? We just understand that, right? Me and my daughters just kind of understand that, right? My son and my wife, they're okay having to do some work at the back end, right? I don't want to do work at the back end. That's just me, right? So this is definitely not it's a state of mind that I recognize is important for a lot of people. No one wants to be sick. No one wants to feel sick. So they will spend what they need to spend to try to avoid that situation of being sick, right? They will spend what they need to spend, right? So what we're going to talk about today is, all right, what am I doing to actually help our immune system? Or what can I do to help our immune system? So maybe I don't have to spend hundreds of dollars a month. Maybe I spend 10 to 20 bucks a month, something. But I need to do something because, again, doc, I don't want to be sick. I don't want to be in a position where I got to show up when I'm sick, right? That's the name of the game here. So let's talk about this aspect of kind of walking through our process when we are trying to, I guess, boost our immune system, if that's the right term. And again, as a physician, again, I tell you, man, I fell into the trap, right, of trying to avoid. Because remember, like I said, I'm the type I want to push it through, right? So I'm getting vitamin D, I'm getting like emergency, like I'm doing everything I can, right, to try to prevent that situation where I may get so sick that I can't go see my patients, right? That's how much I love my patients, right? Like I'm trying to enact a prevention in every which way, shape, or form, even if it comes in the form of taking some random supplements here or there, because I think it may help, right? I see it on the bottle, or moon boosting. Yep, let me try it, right? Because I'm trying to boost my immune system, not even recognize if my immune system needs boosting, right? Because that's a question that doesn't really get asked. Does your immune system actually need to be boosted? Right? For a lot of people, y'all are doing enough that your immune system is running just fine. But you want to make sure you go extra overdrive to make sure, like, hey, I want to do everything I can to get this immune system going, right? So let's talk about some of the things that the science, right? Because that's why you follow this channel, right? Let's talk about what the science says helps boost the immune system, and let's see if you guys are following it, right? And if you are, drop it in the comments. Say, yes, I am following some of these things here. Let us know what you're doing. Prioritizing sleep. Now, don't run away now. Don't run away. I know there's some people who probably turned away, put their head down, stop listening to it because I said sleep is important. Yes, prioritizing sleep is important if you're actually trying to boost the immune system, right? Again, remember, we have bodies in our, so we have cells in our body that produce, like, when we get adequate amount of sleep to help fight infections, right? But if you don't get adequate amount of sleep, guess what? Those cells in our bodies that needs to help produce and fight those infections aren't there. So understand, one study found that people who sleep less than 6 hours a night are 4 times more likely to catch the common cold. Let's repeat that. People who sleep less than 6 hours a night, and you may be thinking, oh man, 6 hours? There's a lot of people who sleep less than 6 hours a night. People who sleep less than 6 hours a night are 4 times more likely to catch a common cold. So again, prioritize the sleep. Prioritize the sleep. Eat the correct food, right? This probably makes way more sense, right? Forget these superfood fads, right? Diet rich in fruit, vegetables, whole grains, fermented foods like yogurt do such a great job at replenishing the body that helps, again, fight any future infections that may come around, right? So eat the good food that you need to eat. Staying active, y'all. Staying active. Number 3, stay active. If you are active, guess what you can do? Moderate exercise actually circulates immune systems and helps your body track down invaders more effectively. If you don't do nothing, right? You sit around, you don't exercise, you don't sleep well, you don't eat well. Guess what? You are going to be a harbinger for infection, a harbinger, and you're going to set yourself up to have to present yourself in that sick state that you don't want to do it in. And I don't care how many vitamins and supplements you take, if you aren't sleeping correctly, if you aren't eating correctly, right? If you aren't exercising appropriately, guess what? The infection is going to come for you. Right? You can spend hundreds of dollars a day. If you aren't doing those things, the infection is going to come for you. And this is a big one, right? Y'all know, if y'all been following me for any amount of time, no cigarette smoking, right? Cigarette smoking is just terrible. There's nothing that is good with cigarettes. Nothing. It's just addictive. It's a bad thing. It doesn't help. No cigarette smoking. And try to work on managing the stress level, right? I know stress comes from many different directions. I got daughters, I got sons, I got wife, I got work, I got family. Like, stress can come from many different directions. Make sure you monitor the stress levels that are in front of you, right? If you want to, quote unquote, boost that immune system. Very, very important when we think about this. So let's knock out these myths right now. Let's knock them out, right? I got 2 of them for you. Mega doses of vitamins cure everything, right? So if I just go to my local grocery store and just kind of to that that vitamin section, drop a whole bunch of stuff in my cart, like, I should be fine. And I get the A's, the B's, the C's, the D's, all the whole alphabet of vitamins, I should be fine. False, 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 and more false. Because again, remember, you can have too much of a good thing as well too. So you can have excess supplements, which cause a problem, right? We don't want that. We do not want that, y'all. Y'all don't want it. Hopefully y'all don't want that, right? Excess vitamins can be an issue as well too, right? So no, you just taking a whole bunch of vitamins and supplements without any actual direction on which ones to take can be a problem. All natural equals always safe. I wish I could say that all the time. The amount of people who will go against, they call it traditional medicine, aka medicines that I may prescribe, because they want an all natural version, because they assume the all natural version has to be much safer than what I'm prescribing. Oh man, I could if I had a dime for every time I ran into a person like that, I'd probably be super, super rich right now. Wouldn't be $30 billion rich, but I'd probably be rich. Just because supplement is herbal does not make it automatically safe, right? So, and remember, these vitamins and supplements interact with everything, right? So if you, just because you're taking a vitamin supplement, just because it's natural, does not mean it won't interact with the medications you got going on, right? So understand, vitamins and supplements can be an issue, right? If you're not paying any mind, right? And it can affect other medications that you have to take. Because a lot of people take prescribed medications and take supplements. There's some people who just take supplements. If you fall in that, which category do you fall in? Drop it in the comments. I fall in the category where I just take my prescribed medications. I fall in the category where I take prescribed medications and supplements, or I fall in the category where I just take supplements. Let me know where you fall at in that category itself. And this is the biggest one, right? I guess I do have a third one. Ignoring your baseline health. You know, you got high blood pressure, high cholesterol, thyroid, you got all these other diabetes, you got all these other problems, and you think the vitamins and supplements you take is going to be okay. No. You got to correct the big issues first and make sure those vitamins and supplements are an addendum to the things you need help with, right? Like, come on, let's just be real with ourselves. Let's be real with ourselves, right? So again, before we get up out of here, again, the question was, can you actually boost your immune system? $30 billion, a $30 billion industry says, yes, we can. A $30 billion industry says, yes, we can boost your immune system. You listen to today's episode because you want to make sure that you are actually doing the things that actually boost your immune system. And then if you want some added supplementation, which again, we will have a link in the show notes for you, you can do that as well too, right? So again, most immune boosters are overhyped. If something says this is an immune boosting vitamin, get it up out of there. Ignore. The only reason why they put this is an immune boosting blank is because they know you guys are Googling, I need immune boosting blank. Oh, boom, let me click, right? So avoid that if you can. Real immune support comes from healthy sleep, healthy gut, healthy diet, activity, and making sure your baseline health is optimal. make sure your baseline health is optimal so that when they add in the vitamins and supplements, it puts you over the top. And avoid these miracle pills, skipping the basics, right? Do not skip the basics. So again, before we start spending money and help attributing to that $30 billion industry, before we do that, make sure your baseline health is on point. Make sure you got your numbers, you got your labs, you're doing your things you need to do just to make sure in general you're looking good, you're feeling good, because you want to avoid that sick state that you don't want to be showing up around other people. You don't want people to see you down. I know that. You don't want people to see you down. I understand that. But again, if you're going to contribute to a $30 billion industry, I want you to get the most out of it. I'm not here to tell you that you shouldn't contribute to that $30 billion industry. I'm not here to tell you that. I just want to make sure you're doing it with the most effective use of your time and your money as possible, and with some direction from a healthcare provider like myself, right? So if you do all those things, then you click the link in the show notes that goes to my vitamins and supplements, and then you go, because I said all the supplements are great. You go rock out on those, but make sure you got your basic health first, right? Make sure you got that locked, cinched, and ready to go to get you to the next day, right? So again, I am yours truly, Dr. Barry Pierre, host of Medicine Mondays and a slew of other things. I'm gonna see you guys next week.